Nostalgia, the lowest-ranking noble, is the protagonist of our story. On his first day of work, his father tells him that the son of a well-known noble is taking his job. Being low-ranking nobles, they had no power to change the situation. He then decides to become a librarian. After this, his sister Alice recommends him to consider taking the entrance exam for the Hero Academy, where he can pursue a path towards becoming either a monster hunter or a knight after graduation. After that, while going through the town, Noor sees his childhood friend Emma. They are friends with their families despite her higher social standing. She was expecting to work with Noor as a librarian. When she learns he cannot work there, she is disappointed. Noor has a rare skill. He can ask a great sage anything about the world, but each time he uses it, he experiences a terrible headache. Emma learned that a girl's kiss can make headaches go away. He quickly asks for advice from the great sage on how to pass the Hero Academy entrance exam. He tells Noor to explore the hidden dungeon and get stronger. Noor experiences a terrible headache after using his power. Emma kisses him to make the pain go away. Following this relief, he discovers the hidden dungeon. He uses a spell the great sage taught him to enter through a huge iron gate. He then starts to look around when he hears a woman's voice in his head. Following the voice instructions, he discovers a room where a blue-haired girl is chained up. She introduces herself as Olivia, an explorer who has been imprisoned in the dungeon for 2 centuries. She explains that cutting her chains would result in her death. When Noor tells her of his situation, she transfers all her abilities to him because she is unable to use them herself. Noor can create any skill he can imagine using Olivia's abilities. Also, he has the ability to modify the skills of others and share the abilities he has created. But the more powerful the skill he creates, the more his life points will decrease. He can get back his life points by doing something that makes him feel pleasure. Noor uses his newly acquired skill to defeat a slime by making stone bullets out of dust. But after using his skill, he exhausts himself and loses 50 life points. Noor rests on Alice's lap to regain his life points. He also hugs her. Noor arrives at the academy on the day of the entrance examination. The exam requires a team, in which a group has to collect rare materials from monsters and bring them to the examiner. Noor looks around for teammates, but the people in his class tend to avoid him. Emma shows up out of nowhere. She resigned from her job as a librarian and made the decision to pass the hero exam with Noor. Noor makes the decision to enter the hidden dungeon alone and fight monsters when the exam begins, but he wasn't expecting a dangerous high-level Grim Reaper. However, Noor manages to eliminate him. Noor's team wins the competition when they use the skull of the Grim Reaper as their rare material, and he and Emma both pass the exam. Noor feels happy that he passed, but when he looks at the enrollment fee for the Hero Academy, he realizes that it is too expensive for his family. He decides to make money himself by becoming an adventurer. When Noor arrives at the Adventurers Guild, he registers with the help of a receptionist named Lola. Lola notices Noor's abilities are similar to Olivia's abilities, who used to be a member of the guild as well. When Noor informs her that he is Olivia's successor, she gets shocked. Lola assigns Noor a quest to find rare bugs known as rainbow grasshoppers. Noor used the Great Sage to search for the rainbow grasshoppers. Emma appeared out of nowhere, furious that Noor hadn't invited her along. Still, Emma helped him collect the grasshoppers and relieved his headache with a kiss. They go back to the guild after catching enough grasshoppers to complete their first quest. Lola immediately assigns them another quest to defeat a large rabbit, so they set out once again, this time into a forest. Noor and Emma are looking for a rabbit monster to defeat when they are unexpectedly attacked by goblins. A huge rabbit appears out of nowhere and chases the goblins away. Emma decided to face the monster alone. She carefully avoided all the attacks. Rabbit, on the other hand, managed to knock her off balance, and she would have died if Noor hadn't saved her with a massive rock they hid from the monster. Emma is desperate because her attacks are ineffective against the monster's body. Noor wanted to improve Emma's abilities even more, but that would take a lot of life points. Noor regains life points by gently biting Emma's ear. This significantly increased his life points, allowing him to improve Emma's skills until she could defeat the rabbit. The rabbit attacks Noor again, but now Emma is stronger and defeats it. They got back to the Adventurers Guild that night. Noor gave the rabbit's meat to the entire guild. They had a nice dinner together, even though Noor's life points increased due to the mouth-watering taste of the meat. He earned enough money to enter the Hero Academy after completing 2 quests. On the very first day at Hero Academy, Noor and Emma meet Maria, the daughter of a high-ranking noble. Using one of his abilities, Noor finds a curse on her that will cause her to die on her 16th birthday. Because of his low rank, the higher-ranked kids in Noor's class immediately began ignoring him. Meanwhile, Emma is popular among them and everyone gathers around her. Maria comes into the classroom with her attendant, Amani, and starts talking happily to Noir and Emma. The students are shocked that a high noble is speaking to him, and their attitudes towards Noir change as a result. He, however, ignores them. Elna, one of the instructors, later teaches the students self-defense. She then chooses Noir as her opponent and challenges him to attack her. Noir analyzes her with his discerning eye and notices that she is extremely strong. Noir's attacks were easily avoided by Elna. Elna responded by promising a reward if any of them managed to avoid her attacks. Noir focused immediately on improving his moving ability and easily avoided her attack. As a result, Noir got an extraordinary gift that brought him satisfaction, which increased his life points by 400. The next activity is done in pairs. Maria agrees to be Noir's partner, and they begin practicing. Maria, on the other hand, faints quickly, becoming weaker as a result of her curse. Noir wants to help her break the curse, but the life point cost is currently too high for him. Later, at the Adventurers Guild, Noir and Emma seek advice from Lola on how to remove Maria's curse. Lola tells them that her friend is a cleric named Luna could help them. The next morning, Noir meets up with Emma in town, where they wait for Lola and Luna, who is an elf. At a restaurant, Noir tells Luna about Maria's curse. Luna says she was previously asked to cure the curse but had to decline, despite the fact that she can usually lift curses. Looking at her with his discerning eye, Noir notices that removing curses reduces Luna's lifespan in proportion to the strength of the curse. Maria's curse appears to be so strong that Luna will die. Noir tells Luna in private that he is aware of her secret. Luna decides to try to remove Maria's curse because she wants to help people like her mother did. At that moment, an accident occurs on a construction site, and Luna goes there to look into the matter. She uses guns to shoot healing magic at an injured child. After that, she recalls her desire to remove Maria's curse and becomes terrified of dying. Noir realizes he can modify Luna's luminous skill so that it takes her money rather than her lifespan. However, he requires more life points to do that. Lola mentions a competition in which nobles rate people's harems, and she believes that winning that event will make Noir happy and help him gain more life points. When Noir arrives at the events arena, he joins his harem of 3 girls. Until Noir's harem appears, the host and audience make fun of other people's harems. Noir's girls appear, and the audience is captivated by each of them. They win the first contest, but there is a second challenge in which the girls must demonstrate the love they have for Noir. In order to win, they must complete 3 scenarios in which they take care of Noir and demonstrate that they are the best harem. The host, who is envious of Noir, award them the prize money. Noir successfully increases his life points after winning the contests. After that, Noir and the girls go to Maria's palace. Maria had known since she was a child that she would die when she turned 16. The curse was placed on Maria by a witch who was defeated by Maria's ancestor. Amani brings Noir and Luna into Maria's room. Luna begins to remove Maria's curse after Noir modifies her skill to take her money instead of her lifespan. She finally succeeds, and they get all the money from the competition. Maria bursts into tears and kisses Noir in gratitude for his efforts to save her. Maria's family gave Noir and his friends a large amount of money as a gift. Noir got confused because the total amount of money was so big. Emma suggested he should open a shop and sell rare materials. Noir talked it over with his family, and they decided to open a shop together. After that, Noir goes to the hidden dungeon the next day in search of some rare materials. He meets Olivia. She instructs him to create a dungeon elevator ability that allows him to travel between already visited floors. She also suggests creating a skill that can blind opponents. Noir sees a huge black lion on the 5th floor. Recognizing the lion's strength, Noir leaves the area quickly, using his newfound abilities. To Noir's surprise, the lion speaks up and requests him to help him. The lion introduces himself as Toromaru and asks Noir to find his missing friend, Vashel, who went missing on the 6th floor. Toromaru had patiently waited on the 5th floor for 350 years, but his friend had yet to return. Noir agrees to help him, and they proceed to the 6th floor. Toromaru leads Noir to the 6th floor and tells him to look for Vashel. However, because the 6th floor is completely dark, Noir uses his night vision ability. As he explores, he comes across high-level zombies emerging from the darkness. Despite this, Noir manages to run away from them. As he enters another room, he notices another zombie, but this one is dressed. Using his discerning eye, he finds that the zombie has a wide range of skills and realizes that he is Vashel, Torogaru's friend. He uses his zombification skill to transform Vashel back into a human, and the two continue to get to know each other. Toromaru is extremely happy to be reunited. Vashel wants to return to the elf village. They decided to split up because they couldn't take him to the village. They agreed to meet again. Noir then invited Toromaru to go along with him and become friends. Toromaru is overjoyed because he now has a second friend. Toromaru is brought home by Noir, who accepts him as a new family member and hires him as a shopkeeper. Alice noticed the flower on Toromaru's head, so she gently touched it. The flower turns out to be a sensitive part of Toromaru's body. The Hero Academy students had their very first exam in a few weeks. They had to find rare materials. Noor and Emma went to the Adventurers Guild to seek advice from Lola. There was a commotion when they arrived. Lola was arguing with Sarah, the guild receptionist who always stole Lola's adventures, causing Lola's performance to go down while Sarah's skyrocketed. Sarah was trying to persuade adventurers to join her, according to Lola, but she had no proof. Sarah challenges Lola to a month-long competition to see who can have the highest quota. If she loses, she will never again take any of Lola's adventures. But if she wins, she will take Noir, one of the guild's most successful adventurers. Noir and Emma request that Lola give them high-level quests in order to increase Lola's quota. Luna also joins them because she is both a cleric and an adventurer. After successfully completing high-level quests, Noir and the girls collect all of the materials they need for the exam, except for a dragon fang. Luna had heard rumors about an earth dragon living in the mountains. They bought spears in order to defeat the dragon. Noir gave the dragon-slaying ability to all three of them. Toragaru then took all three of them to Treasure Mountain, where the dragon lives. Noir asks the Great Sage to locate the dragon's exact location. Noir, Emma, and Luna dig up a hole to make a trap for the dragon to fall into. Noir entered the cave on his own and awoke the dragon, luring it to the hole. Emma and Luna attacked the dragon with spears as soon as it fell. Finally, they were able to kill the dragon. Noir and Emma passed the Hero Academy exam after gathering rare materials. They then went to the Adventurers Guild and gave what was left of the rare materials to Lola. Sarah's quota was higher than Lola's, but there is still half a month left before the contest ends. Sarah had completely manipulated her adventurers, exploiting them to overwork. Noir pays Olivia a visit and seeks her advice. She directs him to the hidden dungeon's 7th floor, where valuable treasure awaits. She also recommends that he create elemental spells as well as a magic fusion skill that will allow him to combine them on the 6th floor. Noir effortlessly defeats all of the zombies in the area by combining his stone bullets with a flame spell. Noir has finally reached the 7th floor. When he goes into the lush forest, he notices a group of powerful wolves. He runs away from them until he is stopped by a small green-haired girl who introduces herself as Dorothy, a spirit of a great tree. She begs Noir to help her, and he agrees. The drag is the true body of the tree, and it is being attacked by a monster. She wants Noir to defeat it in exchange for some treasure and guidelines on how to reach the dungeon's 8th floor. Dory guides Noir to her true form, which is a large tree. A golden bee monster has been sucking up Dory's magical energy. Noir looks at the bee with his discerning eye and finds that it is extremely powerful, capable of killing him in a single hit. When Noir sees Dory in pain on the verge of death, he looks for a solution. He seeks advice from Olivia, who advises Noir to use the wolf as a pawn against the golden bee by modifying its abilities so that it is a natural enemy of the bee. After that, he tracks down the high-level wolves he saw earlier and triggers them to chase him. When he gets to the dry tree, he notices that the bee has attacked it again and Dory is lying on the floor. Noir attacks the golden bee, but is no match for it. When the wolves get there, Noir changes his target skill to make the bee appear to be their natural enemy. Finally, the golden bee and the wolves engage in an intense battle. When the golden bee runs out of energy, Noir uses his water and lightning skills to attack. Dory rewards Noir with valuable and rare treasure items after defeating the monster. Noir is overjoyed and thanks Dory. Dory, on the other hand, is saddened by the thought of being alone there. Noir promises to pay her a visit. A few days later, Lola's battle with Sarah begins. Lola wins and gains the position of receptionist queen in the Adventurers Guild. Sarah assures her that she will not interfere with her adventures, but she still attempts to seduce Noir and invites him to her house. Noir then gives Emma the item he received from Dory that strengthens wind magic. She eats it, and Noir notices that she has acquired 2 powerful new abilities as a result of it. She is feeling more powerful. After that, Emma invites Noir to a noble's dance party, to which he instantly agrees. Back at home, Noir's father informs him that he is still unable to find a place for their item shop due to the fact that they are low-ranking nobles. Noir tells him not to be worried and to keep looking. Emma looked amazing in her dress as they went to the party together. A nobleman, on the other hand, explained that he had received a message from a phantom thief who was planning to steal a mermaid's tears. As a result of this, the nobles hired adventurers to protect the place. Meanwhile, Emma was terrified when she heard the name Phantom. Noir was challenged by a noble to demonstrate who can do the best dance. When he danced with Emma, the noble demonstrated great skill, but Noir improved his dancing abilities by spending life points. Their performance astounded the nobles. However, a phantom arrived and robs the mermaid's tear and kidnaps Emma. The thief manages to run away from the party, while Noir and an adventurer named Leela go after them. They work together against a female thief, eventually defeating her. After that, dressed as Leela's companion, a phantom appears. The phantom disables them by using their gravity control abilities. However, as soon as Emma regains consciousness, she immediately employs wind magic, and Noir hits the phantom until they pass out. After that, the nobles thank Noir and reward him with a shop where he can start his business of selling rare materials. Leela enrolls as a transfer student in Noir's class at the Hero Academy a few days later. Their teacher tells them that they will be going to Hot Springs Resort for a training camp. Noir and his classmates leave for the hot springs at sunset. When they arrive, they find themselves on a mountain full of traps and monsters. A tiny flying pixie approaches them and assures them that she is not a danger. However, Noir analyzes the pixie's abilities and finds that she can control monsters. The pixie then leads the students through a cave, but Noir is suspicious of her. When Noir questions her about her ability to control the monsters, the pixie leaves her act and summons a swarm of lizardmen to take down the students. Despite the sneak attack, the students fight off the lizardmen with weapons and magic. After getting out of the cave, they notice the hot spring resort in the distance. Jorth, a male student, took on the role of leader and convinced the boys to carry out an important mission, sneaking a peek at the girls while they were bathing. Noir, on the other hand, refused, leading them to label him as a traitor. Elna and Noir stopped them as they approached the bath by throwing stone bullets. Jorth flexed his muscles, determined to catch a glimpse of the girls' bodies, but Noir slammed him so hard that he was unable to move. All of a sudden, another boy stood up and ran towards the bath. Noir was able to stop him, but it cost him a large number of life points. Noir had worked so hard to protect the girls' chastity that they allowed him to bathe with them, increasing his life points to a total of 10,000. In the next scene, we see Noir and his family finally decide to open their rare item shop. Emma, Luna, and Lola help them get everything set up and ready to open the shop to the public. Many customers arrived right away. Later, Noir paid Olivia a visit, recalling how much she had helped him since they first met. He promised to get her out of the dungeon and make her happy. When he asked the Great Sage to tell him how he could free Olivia, he advised Noir to make his way to the dungeon's 15th floor. Noir later takes Emma to the dungeon. The door suddenly locks, and goblins begin to enter. The goblins tell him to lay down his weapons and feed them. So Noir does as the goblins instruct and pulls out some cookies to give them. Noir uses his skill to poison the goblins when they ask for more cookies. The goblins eat them eagerly, and each and every one of them falls to the ground. They eventually make it to the 15th floor. Noir and Emma come across a girl who looks like Olivia, who is chained to the room. When she doesn't respond, Noir uses his discerning eye to discover that she is a copy of Olivia, created by the magical chains that bind the real Olivia. The fake Olivia alters her behavior, claiming that she wants to scare him in order to test Noir and Emma's power. They attack the fake Olivia, but she repels their attacks and counters them with her own powerful spells. Before the fake Olivia has a chance to defeat them, Noir teleports himself and Emma to the 2nd floor, where the real Olivia is. Olivia requested Noir not to fight her because the fake Olivia is stronger, but Noir is determined to save her. On the next day, Noir finds out some information about Olivia in a history book. He reads about a cleric woman who used the sacrifice scale to threaten Olivia. It is a skill that sacrifices other skills in order to empower the user. Noir creates the skill for himself, and as he exits the library, he sees the fake Olivia. She followed him in order to defeat him. Noir awakens the sacrifice skill by sacrificing 3 of his skills. He attacks the fake Olivia, but she stops him with one charged sword slash. In a flashback, Olivia meets a boy who looks like Noir 200 years ago. He begged her to teach him, but she refused no matter what. The boy followed her around the entire day, asking her to be his master. Finally, she asked him why he was so stubborn, and he explained that he had promised his late friend that he would become the best adventurer in the entire world. Olivia challenged him to attack her. She would become his master if he could just scratch her. He turned out to be a complete amateur, and Olivia advised him to stop being an adventurer. Olivia was shocked to learn one day that the boy had been killed by a monster while protecting a girl. Olivia realized at that moment that she should have become his master and properly taught him. After that, she was imprisoned in the hidden dungeon for 200 years until she met Noir. She decided that she would teach him her skills, so he wouldn't die like the previous boy. Meanwhile, Emma shows up out of nowhere and saves Noir. Noir is also helped by Lola, Luna, and Leela, but it is insufficient. The fake Olivia manages to knock the girls down. Noir used his sacrifice ability to risk everything in one attack, depleting all of his life points. He managed to slash her. but the fake Olivia's skin hardened her skin, making her immune to his attack. She got very angry and began punching Noir non-stop. She was also planning on killing him with a fire spell. Noir, on the other hand, would not give up. He effectively cut through the flames, launched a direct attack on the fake Olivia's head, and defeats her, which transforms her into a massive chain. Later, Noir returns to the hidden dungeon and notices Olivia outside, free from the chains. As their lives return to normal, they meet for the first time in person and express their gratitude to one another. Noir's shop is doing well, and Noir and his friends are continuing their training at the Hero Academy. He was very happy because the beautiful girls kissed, smooched, and did everything else to him to increase his life points. And that's how Season 1 comes to an end. I enjoyed this anime, and you all know why. But please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.